Hey everybody, this is MyCollectables coming back with another video, and this is the quick recap, for the community update from Veve, which they just did on X or Twitter in a space where they talked about all the stuff they're going up. I'm going to give you the quick recap right here. I highly recommend you go listen to the whole thing. Go to, Veve's X page or Twitter page and, click on the link, listen to the whole thing back. You got Alex, you got Dan, and you got Mitch in there, and they talked about a lot of stuff. But this is the quick recap, so let's get right over right here. Topic one, they talked about San Diego Comic-Con, but the first thing that was mentioned was Silicon Secure. Silicon Strong, we're all hoping and praying for you, buddy. If you're watching this video, we love you. Everybody, make sure you send love to Silicon because, he's having a tough time, but he's going to make it through for sure. We're all there. So Alex did a little, touching little, shout out and call out to him for sure. So we're all with you. So on to the drops. They just talked about San Diego Comic-Con and just some of the drops they did, the promo codes for new users, and just a bit of the sense of how things went and how people are getting more used to digital collecting and everything, the positive engagement, the future planning that they're going to do from that event, how they're going to approach the next ones, and the Marvel showroom demo, which was amazing. Everything looks super high quality. Better than it does in the app. That was the big thing right here. So the VV-verse, this is what we're talking about. This is topic two they went into. Dan mostly talked about this. It was a closed private beta test at the San Diego Comic-Con. Not the San Diego Comic-Con, sorry. The closed private beta test right now, or they're allowing some people that are going to come in and look at this, VV-verse where they get to test it out. These are people, that are actually like, really high level in terms of vault building and collecting and stuff like that in the app. They want to give that small group of people a chance to give some really great feedback. And this is where they also said it looks much more realistic than in the app, all of our collectibles, and they won't be able to share any screenshots or anything like that. So they'll just be able to talk about it. So we won't see this, for a little while, but they really want to get the feedback from active users who are really good into the vault and stuff like that. And so, you'll have all these features in there like voice chat and video chat apparently, and building tools where you can have like cubes, walls, trees, blocks, and all sorts of stuff. So they're really going to give them a chance to go through it. That sounds amazingly exciting coming up for sure. Topic three that they talked about was the app updates that are happening. And Mitch really talked a lot about this. 2-week cycles is kind of what they're in for apps, for the updates, how we see these new updates coming, these little things they're doing and the big things they're doing. They have optimized teams working on specific tasks for sure. The languages was a big deal. They talked about this in this little bit. Mitch and Dan both talked about this and how localization is huge for onboarding new IP. And Astro Boy was one of those IPs that they kind of attributed to having the languages in the app. They maybe wouldn't come to Veve without them. So you can see more and more stuff's going to come with more languages, and also more languages are going to come. And then they also talked about the crafting functionality that we currently have is only small compared to what they're going to be doing. Bigger options coming, crafting more stuff. So we remember this whole thing we talked about before in the past about crafting a ton of comics to get something different. This stuff is all coming for sure, right? This is big app updates for sure. Now, topic four, they talked about Payout. And just that it's in beta and there's about 15,000 users testing it right now. I'm one of those people who actually was able to get access, even though I haven't used it at all or didn't need to test it, but they're still going through some stuff with the new provider. So the standard progression of things is where they're going. And they did find a couple small things. So, it hasn't rolled out to everybody yet, but that's definitely coming. Topic five. Now, this is the big one with the waitlist drops. This seems to be the factor that is holding back MCP. And Mitch and Dan really got into this. They're working on the functionality. They actually explained how the waitlist system works, for how people join it and then all the different stages of it. And they're having a problem with the rebounds, part of it right there, just to simplify things, where it's like not allocating properly. And so you can see these issues. So they're working on that. Now, the thing about it is that this is holding up, MCP, because the waitlist system is key to the MCP system. And until this is actually, really, really robust and figured out and like corrected, then we're not going to get those MCP rewards necessarily. So they said that it's not major, but they're still working on this and they will continue to work on this waitlist system. But the cool little update that's coming is, for more global choices, because they talked about the languages and how there's, we're getting multiple languages here. So people around the world in different time zones might have difficulty joining a drop. So they are going to open up apparently a 24-hour waitlist option where you can join it and you can choose to just like, if your drop's happening at 3 o'clock in the morning or in the middle of your workday, if you have the gems in your app and you join the waitlist, if you are selected on the waitlist, it'll automatically purchase for you, and then you'll get your collectible. So you don't even have to be there. That is an interesting thing, but they did say it's a choice, so you can still participate manually if you want. But that is something that's coming to help with people around the world for sure, right? But they are working on that system, right? And MCP, now this is, they got a little bit further into it. It affects the whole release, like the waitlist system. So it's ongoing progression. If you're having problems with MCP points, they said file your tickets on Discord. You know, my points I don't think are totally corrected properly, but I'm just watching them for sure, right? But it is the first thing right there. The MCP rewards are coming next after the waitlist system is in place, because it all factors in more points, more better chances at drops and stuff. So it's in progression, right? And you know, it's a priority to actually have this down for sure with MCP. They kept reiterating how, just so you know, in the background, they're working hard on this stuff. This is what they wanted everyone to know, that they're still working on it big time. And OMI Utilities, another one they're working on. And actually, the one thing that Mitch and Dan said over here was that, you know, was really important, is that just because they're not talking about it doesn't mean they're not working on it. They're quiet because they're working on it. I thought that was a really interesting quote right there. And the team is always working in the background, you know, so expect stuff like this coming more in the future. They're going to give us more news as time goes on, but you can really see that drop system is kind of the thing they're focused on, that will then unleash all the MCP and the programs and the rewards and the loyalty stuff, you know, and it's coming for sure, right? So this is another one this week coming up, because this is July 31st, this thing. They have some more stuff coming up. There's a system will be down for a couple of hours at about 10:30 tonight Pacific time. This is on Monday, July 31st. And there's a couple of upgrades they're going to do. So if you see that, but they also said, you know, drops incoming. Fantastic Four #2 comic, which is huge. I'll talk about that in another video. And the next Disney drop with the pencil things is supposed to come this week. They didn't say which one, but you can actually just look at the Medium article, and I'll definitely have a video on that. So that's the quick update, you guys. Make sure you go listen to the whole thing. Really fascinating, really interesting to hear. They didn't take any questions from the audience, just gave us the information, and then they closed off the space. So if you want to go listen to it, for sure, let me know what you think. I'm sure everyone's going to be talking about this all day long and all week long, and we'll hopefully get some better upgrades for sure as time goes on here and get some more stuff rolled out. Okay, so anyway, I hope you liked the video. I'll see you in the next one. Happy collecting.